What exists in the deep? The ocean is the earth's most valuable natural resources. It provides food in the form of fish and shellfish. It's used for transportation, both travel and shipping. It provides a treasured source of recreation for humans. It is mined for minerals like salt, sand, gravel, copper, nickel, iron. All can be found in the deep sea. Drilling of crude oil. Go on down. The ocean plays a critical role in removing carbon from the atmosphere and providing oxygen. It regulates Earth's climate. The ocean is an increasingly important source of biomedical organisms with enormous potential for fighting disease. All of these things come from the deep. Okay? It has great beauty and great wealth exists in the deep. I want you to know that all the dreams that you can dream for yourself, God has a bigger dream for you. Amen. You can never outdream God. That's right. But for the believer, the dream that we dream is limited to us. You understand? Across the board, anybody that dreams, it's limited to their abilities. But for the believer, God is kind of strange. I mean, I've been having a conversation with him and I've been trying to figure it out, you know. But the dreams that he gives us should always be where it's bigger than us and requires him. That's the kind of people that God is looking for this morning. He's looking for a people who will say that the dreams that I'm dreaming, Lord, is way bigger than what I have resources for. And I am in so desperate need of you. Picks you out. And when you are picked out, that means everything associated with you will be affected. Jesus chose the one that belonged to Simon Peter. Right there, Peter didn't choose Jesus. Jesus picked him out. He says, but on the ground of your word, I will lower the nets again. If God has given you a promise, on the ground of his word, lower the nets. On the ground of his word, launch out into the deep. On the launch of his, on the ground of his word, go for it. Dream big against. Don't let past experiences and present circumstances take away the power of his word in your life for the future. What had they done? They obeyed the word that he said. They went out into the deep and they launched out. They threw the nets and they caught, and when they had done this, they caught a great number of fish. When you go on the ground of his word, supernatural favor is going to flow to you, and there's going to be an abundance as well. If you have gone through a divorce, when God has told you this time around go into the relationship, the latter will be better than the first. He always blesses us in quality or quantity. Launching out into the deep will manifest the blessings of God in both the natural as well as the supernatural. That's how powerful our God is. And go on now, let's see what the verse says. But when Simon Peter saw this, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord. When God blesses you with an abundance, even when you don't deserve it, he blesses you based on his word. That's the problem that we are facing many times. We feel that the blessings of God is based on what we can do until we get it all together. Let me tell you something, they didn't have it all together. Peter and them did not have it all together. They were men who were now being called. This is when Jesus now called Simon Peter, and the way he did it is by blessing him in abundance. And when you realize the abundant blessing in your life, you get a realization of how good you are not. And he fell down at his knees saying, depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord. Allied to terror, and all who were with him at the haul of the fish which they had made. Everyone around is going to stop and be blessed by what God is doing in your life. If you would just allow him, if you would just get a word from him. Let me tell you something. Peter he was a fisherman by fishing for real fish. And by the time Jesus was done with him, he became the greatest fisher of all men. We've got to let God do a work in us, and we've got to launch out into the deep. Or I'll say it another way. We've got to come out of our box now. We've got to stop reasoning it and telling, for me, I would say, reasoning it, God says, Jesus tell them, go and launch out in the deep. As a fisherman, Peter wouldn't know. We fished all night. There's nothing. The good thing to do would be wait until later when the tide rises again. Perhaps that will bring in another haul of fish and we can go. What I'm saying to you is that you are there reasoning all the things as why it should not work. You want God to do things in a way where it makes sense in your mind. But that's not faith. Faith is seeing it as God sees it, and knowing it exists where he is, and it's only a matter of time before it comes here. So Peter reasoned with him. Peter said, look, I fished all night and we caught nothing, but on the ground of your word, I will do it.